Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're an old friend, welcome back. Okay, tonight, this is not a topic that a lot of people is going to find interesting, but it's something that living in Florida, you need this. You need to be able to prepare for the hurricane season. So tonight's video is about preparing for the hurricane season, what to do, what you need. So I'm going to run through all of that quickly. As you know, in the next 48 hours, well, if you don't know, Florida will be hit with this major hurricane, Milton, and it's coming on the Gulf of Mexico side, which is the side that I live on. I'm just about 45 minutes north of Tampa. It's supposed to head on into Tampa. Either way, we're going to get something of it. We live right in Central Florida, and that's exactly where it's headed. So you can check out the forecast for that, because I'm not a meteorologist, or I don't know anything about that. I've just been following it, and just by living in Florida and growing up in Jamaica, I've had my shares of storms and hurricanes and warnings and everything. So I think, not that I'm an expert on preparing, but I try to prepare. I probably could do a lot better, but I tend to wait till the last minute to do some of the stuff. And every year seems like I'm preparing again. I have yet to figure out, or I don't know why I am not saving my stuff from last year and making sure they're packed in one place. So every hurricane season, I'm repacking, which I guess is not a bad thing, to make sure everything works. But anyway, so I'm going to put on my glasses because I cannot see without it. Okay. So the hurricane season, if you don't know, for Florida, I'm speaking for Florida, I can't speak for anywhere else, runs from about June 1st to about November 30th. That's the basic hurricane season. So I'm not saying nothing can happen before or after that. This is just when they say it's the prime of the hurricane season. Okay, so we're going to go with that, right? But you should be prepared at any time. Regardless of where you live, prepare for thunderstorms, for any kind of snowstorm or whatever. You need to have a plan. Okay, so I'm going to be reading from my list because I cannot remember all of this. But anyway, first, make sure that you and your family have a plan. Not just your immediate the people that live in your household, but if you have family within the surrounding areas, make sure they know your plan. If you have family out of state, different areas, let them know your plans. So if something was to happen, there's no communication, rather, they should be able to know, okay, let me contact this person, whatever, let them know where I'm at, and whatever the case may be. Communicate with your family, your loved ones, so no one is worried, no one gets lost in the shuffle, and especially if you have elderly. Make sure you keep in touch with your elderly family members and know where they're going, their location, or where their evacuation route is, or where their shelters are in case they need a shelter. All right. So make sure you have a meetup location for your immediate family, or a family that's within the same area. Make sure you know if you're going to meet at this whatever high school. Make sure you know, okay, I'm going to this high school. This is where I will be. So after the hurricane, or during the hurricane, you can have some kind of communication. Most likely, you're not going to have power is going to go out. We live in Florida. A little thunderstorm, my power goes out. So, and my internet goes out. You'll have your cell phone. Haven't had much cell phone issues, but it can go out. Okay. All right. Now, make sure that you know your evacuation route. There's different routes that, if you live in certain areas, they want you to take certain areas. So make sure you know the route, because this is going to be your easiest mode of travel, because you don't want everybody. They do this to kind of keep everything separated, so they don't have everyone going in a specific direction. So, it helps to declutter the road. All right. I think that's not the right word, but whatever. We're going to go with it. Anyway, also make sure you know your evacuation zone. Now, each area have their own zone. I'm not sure. I think it goes up to F. I'm in zone E. There's A, B, C, D, and E. And I believe there's F, and it could be more. And then they have, like, where we live in Florida, or actually the whole state of Florida. every time we have a hurricane or a storm, if you live in a mobile home or manufactured home, you're the first to get evacuated along with people that live along the coastal lines. So that's that's no question. If you know a storm is coming, a hurricane is coming, and you live in a mobile home, you live on the water, you need to be gone. Go inland. And if you need to go further, keep going further. Don't stay, it's a house. It's not even worth it. Trust me, I own my own house, and my house is not even worth my life or my family's life. But to each his own. But I'm just going to give you the little facts, whatever they say, just the governor states. He's the one that gives the orders, okay? Because, another thing, let's touch on this. When you in an area that's unsafe and it's a mandatory evacuation, and God forbid something happens to you, then the rescuers have to come and get you. That's putting their life in danger. They can't go back home to their family, or they're wasting time with you who chose to stay. And, people who need emergency help or whatever, it's a compromise. And guess what? I've heard the governor say, if we can't get to you, we can't get to you. I don't want to be in that position, and I'm not, I understand, you don't want to leave your home. I get it, totally get it. But just be mindful of the people that may have to come and rescue you. Okay. Also, let's see, moving right along. Know where your shelters are. In my area, most of the shelters are the schools. And we have several in the area, but check out the ones that's closest to you, and also check out the ones that will meet your needs. For example, if you have medical issues, there are shelters specifically for people who have medical issues. If you have pets, there's shelters that have accommodation for pets. Not all shelters can have your pets. So make sure you know which one is allowed to have your pets. Now, make sure, we're going to go down the list of what you need. Make sure you have your needs for your pet, your things for your pet's needs also, but I'm going to go through that down in my list. Okay. Let's see, where did I leave off? Okay, the accommodations. All right. So that, please, and now how you could check for that, you could go on your county website or your city website, whatever city you live in or town. Check out the website, and I will list some in the state's website in the description box. Okay, trust me, the information is there. You could even check out your zone. There's a website. Okay, so to check your zone, you could go to maps.arcgis.com, or just simple type in Google, know your zone. And it's going to ask you for your zip code. You put in your zip code, and it's going to tell you exactly what zone you're in. And it will also list the status. So if it says evacuate, that, or mine is pretty much blank. But if they want you to evacuate, it will say, I think it says mandatory evacuation, or I can't remember exactly what it says, but it will tell you your status of your zone. If you didn't get the message, they'll tell you exactly what you need to do. All right. So for me, guys, I'd rather be over prepared than not prepared and be caught in the group that says, oh, I should have. No. That is not me. I don't like to be caught off guard, and the weather is something you don't play with. You don't play with hurricanes. You know what I mean? Got Mother Nature, you don't play with it. Okay? All right. When should you start preparing? All right. It's up to you. Some people might prepare a year before, keep their stuff in, have it, just pull it out. Yes, that's great. Okay, but remember, if you do that, remember, you need to check it to make sure everything is in working order. Okay, me personally, I think by April, during springtime, when you're doing your spring cleaning, that's a perfect time to pull everything out, make sure everything is in working condition for the upcoming hurricane season, which is in June. And trust me, living in Florida, we have an active hurricane season. It's not necessarily just hurricane. It could be storm watch. It could be anything. So, that could go into the preparation also. It doesn't necessarily have to be just for hurricane. Okay. All right. Let's see. And I will list the zone information in the description box. Now, let's get to the meat of things. Okay. What to include in your emergency kit. Now, this is just giving you an idea. Some of the things you probably wouldn't have thought about that. Okay, yeah, I should have put that. It should, make sure that's included. So I'm just going to give you a list. You add and take away as needed for you and your family. Okay. All right. And this, guys, you could find a lot of lists online. I found this one online and I added my own things to it that I know I need for my family's comfort. All right. So first, this is basic stuff to put in your emergency supply kit. First, prescriptions, inhalers, glasses, contact lens with solution, bracelet retainers, and anything of that sort, anything that you might need to, braces, especially with your kids. Get the braces and the retainers, okay? Glasses, a must, all right? Now, make sure you have your infant formula, diaper, change of clothes, if they need nebulizer, if they need any kind of extra medical equipment or anything, make sure that is also in your emergency kit. And again, don't leave your kit for a year or two, because some of the medications do expire. Some of the inhalers do expire, and the nebulizer treatment does have an expiration date. So make sure you're checking those. All right. Make sure if you have pets, you have pet food. You have water. Make sure they have a cage also. If you don't have a cage, some of the shelters do have cages. Now, if you have a vicious dog, they're welcome at the shelter, but make sure you have a cage for your dog and a muzzle. Okay, you don't want the dog to create another problem during this emergency, please. So if your dog is not well trained, make sure get the dog a muzzle. I know a lot of people's against it, but in this situation here, I think that overrides everything as far as not putting your dog on with a muzzle on your dog. All right, now make sure you have, this is number one, make sure you have important family documents, preferably in a Ziploc bag, in a nice plastic tote or something, a storage bin. Your passport, your IDs, your credit cards, your house information for your homeowner's insurance, phone numbers that you may need. Don't rely on phone numbers in your phone. Yes, folks, we don't use telephone address books anymore. We don't. And I'm bad about that. I know nobody's phone number, but make sure you list down certain people, maybe a couple of family members' phone numbers. Write it down. Write down your homeowner's insurance information, your policy number. Write it down, even though it might be in your phone. Write it down and bring a copy of your policy with you when you're put it in your emergency kit, rather. So if you're leaving, you have it, because make sure you know the number to FEMA, different organization that does help with that relief. Make sure you have, passports. Let's see, birth certificates, number one. Social Security cards. Make sure you keep those things for not just you, but your entire family, husband, kids, your dog, if they have one, whoever. Make sure you have all of that, because it is so hard to replace those things, especially when you don't have an ID card. So to save yourself headaches and hassle, keep your important documents in a bag. It could be a Ziploc bag or a waterproof bag if you want to buy a waterproof bag, whatever. Keep it. Don't just throw it in a bag or whatever. Make sure it's in something where in case you get wet, it's not going to get wet and get damaged. All right. All right. First aid kit. Then you may want to have a sleeping bag, warm blanket for each person. It doesn't have to be a huge blanket, just something just to keep you warm. Or if you go to a shelter, you have something to lay on. So a sleeping bag or a blanket. Let's see. A change of clothes for at least 2 to 3 days. Change of clothes. Make sure you have water for you and your pets and your family members, and clothes for at least 2 to 3 days. Just in case you won't be able to come back to your house for a while, you have change of clothes. Change of socks. Change of shoes. Number one, if your shoes get wet, you don't want to be stuck with wet shoes because then that's going to create another problem. So make sure you have at least 2 pairs of shoes, change of socks, or, just socks, period. Okay, let's see. And this is just for Florida, because if you live in a cold climate, that's something totally different. So this is just for Florida. Okay, make sure you have a fire extinguisher in your emergency kit. Matches or a lighter, again, in a waterproof container. You want to put these things in. Make sure you have your feminine supplies. If you're a female, you know the feminine supplies. I don't have to go through the list. Make sure you have it. Paper cups, paper plates, disposable utensils, paper towels, toilet paper, paper, and pencil. That's just some of the things that you could add in your kit. Also, make sure you have some books, some games, puzzles, or anything to keep your kids occupied during this time, because trust me, this is not going to be an easy time for the kids. Okay, let's see. I already said water, non-perishable food items for several days. Make sure that's in your kit. Battery powered or a hand crank radio. A lot of people don't even do radios anymore, but you need an FM, AM radio. Trust me, that's battery operated, a must. Flashlights with extra batteries. And folks, let me tell you this. When after the hurricane season or whatever, or say you're not using your flashlight, take the batteries out. They will go bad. They will corrode. So take them out of your flashlight. I'm guilty of that. I took out one of my flashlights that I have never even used, and the battery is corrosion in there. Yes, you could clean it, but during the hurricane, are you going to want to clean it? Number one, you're not going to want to waste your soda or whatever you pour on it to clean it. Anyway, you have more things to worry about than cleaning your battery, all right? Make sure you have a whistle. A whistle is very important because people could hear you. You could blow it, and if somebody has to come and rescue you, they can hear you. So make sure you have a whistle or two on you. Not everybody know how to whistle, whatever, but a whistle is an amazing thing to draw people's attention. Okay, let's see what else. Make sure you have some baby wipes too, because if you can't shower, you gotta clean up a little bit. And make sure you have all your toiletry items, to include deodorant, toothpaste, mouthwash. Let's see. I don't think you too much have to worry about the floss, but floss. Make sure you also have in your kit a can opener to open the canned goods. And make sure you have a knife too, a pocket knife or something. But the worst thing to do is trying to open a canned item with a knife. Trust me, I've done it. It's no fun. Make sure you also have maps. People don't believe in paper maps anymore. Make sure, because guess what? You might not have access to your cell phone. At least you'll know where you're going. So say, for example, you have to leave, whatever. Make sure you have a map to where if you lose signal, or you're in the midst of a rainstorm or whatever, you don't have signal, you have a map to follow. And also, folks, let me tell you, make sure if you're evacuating, if you're leaving town, make sure your gas tank is full. Don't assume you're going to get gas on the way. If you could get gas here, make sure you fill up, and make sure you have at least 2 or 3 containers of gas riding in your car with you, because you might be stuck on the highway and get to a gas station, there's no gas. Guess what? Your trip is done. You're stuck right there on the side of the road or at a gas station. So make sure your tank is full. Make sure you have extra gas in your vehicle. Don't assume there's going to be gas when you go up the street, or when you go 200 miles, you're going to have gas. I don't think anybody's car could go that far. Mine doesn't go that far without gas. Okay. I don't know how the electric cars work, but that's just a whole nother video. When I get an electric car, I'll let you know how it works. All right. Moving right along. This video is getting a little long, so I'm going to go run through this list a little bit faster. These are just other supplies needed. If you're going to stay in your home, these are other supplies that you should think about storing. Number one. Buy yourself a generator. A generator. Okay? Make sure you buy yourself a generator. Doesn't have to be the expensive, most powerful one, but buy yourself a generator for you to even charge your small appliances, or maybe run a microwave, maybe charge your phone or whatever. My thing is, I will get one that could power my refrigerator. I know there's ones that you could probably power your whole house. I don't know how that works, but for now, let's get one that could just power certain items, okay? You need propane, butane, or charcoal. Make sure you get a lighter fluid, and make sure you have a grill so you could cook on the grill or whatever. So make sure you have those. Make sure you have the lighters also. All right. Candles. Candles are a good option, but can be very dangerous. So make sure if you're going to use candles, you are using them when you are awake and not in the where kids can get a hold of your candles. Candles, I've seen not a lot personally, but I've seen and heard on the news where a candle started fire during a storm or a hurricane. Do not let that be you. So if you could shy away from candles, shy away from candles, okay? They're cheaper, and you could buy multiple candles or whatever, but there is a danger with it. So use with precaution, okay? If you don't have a grill, you could buy a portable burner, which I think is an amazing thing to get, is a portable burner, because it's quicker. You use the butane and you're good. It's quick, especially if you have a baby. We already talked about the AM and FM radio and the batteries that go with it. Do not forget the batteries. There's nothing more than when you have a radio and you forget, okay, I need D batteries or whatever the case may be. And folks, there are different size batteries if you didn't know. Make sure you know what batteries goes with what. Okay, flashlights, portable chargers, portable fan. I'm going to show you the portable fan that I have. I bought this one from Amazon, and it is amazing. I use it on my when I go and watch my son's baseball. And when I tell you, this is the best outdoor fan ever. It comes with a light and everything. I probably should do a review on that. Probably do that. But anyway, so Ziploc bags, cooler, ice pack, ice, water. Make sure you have plenty of water, plenty of toilet paper. And guess what? When you go shopping here, when it's coming up on a hurricane season or a hurricane is coming or a storm, toilet paper and water, the first to go. Not sure why the toilet paper is the first to go, but I guess, I don't know. I join the crowd and I go and get my toilet paper. Okay. Let's see. Make sure you have non-perishable items, food, snacks. I said toilet paper. Okay. All right. So that's the basic things of what to include. I probably missed some. Add it to your list. Make sure you do what's right, good for your family, you and your family. Okay. Now, we're going to go through your evacuation bag. So if you have to leave, we're going to get the emergency kit going. We're going to bring that with us. Pack your clothes in a tote. A rubber bin or something. This way and make sure it's in a garbage bag first, or a waterproof bag. Put it in the plastic tote because it's easy to carry, easy to stack. You can also pack your food in the totes. Again, everything in a plastic bag to keep it from getting wet, and put it in a rubber bin. Trust me. Let me show you this. I bought this. And I haven't done it yet. I had one before. It's only $13 at Walmart. And this is where I'm going to put all my important documents in. Our business papers, bank information, birth certificate, titles. Oh, I forgot. Make sure your car titles are also secure. And I have the hanging folders. Don't worry about what's in there. I have the hanging file folders that I'm going to put in here and separate everything in there. But I'm going to make sure I have a plastic bag to where I'm covering the whole thing, because yes, it might be plastic, but I don't want any water to get in on my documents. Okay. So get one of those at Walmart. If you'll find them where you have the printer paper and the office supply stuff, you'll find it there. It's cheaper in Walmart. They do have it at Office Depot and Staples, but they're a little bit more money. They also have it at Target, but that's a little bit a little bit more. But if you need it, go get it. All right. Make sure you have, okay, most important too, make sure you have cash on hand. If the electric goes out, you cannot use your debit card. I'm just sorry. It won't work anywhere for gas, for food. Make sure you have cash on hand. I know a lot of people don't like to use cash, but this is a time where we're not doing the norm. Whenever there's a hurricane or a storm, get some cash out, because it might be days before you can use your debit card or your phone to pay, tap to pay, or whatever you call it, or Apple Pay. So get cash out. If you don't have cash, you might want to borrow some cash, because it has happened to us where we didn't take any money out. Not this time, but a couple of years ago, we didn't take any money out. Everything was down. There was nowhere to get anything. You needed cash. We had no cash. We ended up going into like we had a little coin container, and luckily we had a lot of coin in there. We probably had like $200 in coins, and that is how we were able to survive as far as gas and getting different things here and there, until we were able to, it only lasted a few days where we were out of power, but it doesn't matter. It's still an inconvenience. So just get some cash out if you have it. If you don't have it, I don't know what to say. Anyway, let's see. Again, make sure you have your inhalers. Now, this is your evacuation bag. So make sure you have your inhalers, your medicine, food, water, house information, map, toiletry, flashlight, batteries, radio. Basically, it's the same stuff that I discussed. This is now your evacuation bag. So just make sure you have all that. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, I probably should have split this up in several videos, but I'm just, the hurricane is coming. I'm trying to get this video out to you guys. If you're new to the area, new to Florida, you need this information. Things to do to prepare before the hurricane. Gas up your vehicles. Gas up your gas cans. More than one gas cans. If you have 10, gas them up. Gas them up. Okay. You want to check your yard. If you have a yard, pick up everything that might blow, that might fly, anything loose, garbage cans, wheelbarrows, rakes, shovels, anything that's loose hanging around, you want to pick them up, put them in the garage. Your chairs, if you have lawn chairs, if you have patio chairs, pick them up. If you have a pool, drain your pool a little bit. Now, I'm not saying drain the whole thing. If you drain it to about, maybe take out I don't know, a foot of water, or maybe 3 feet of water if we're going to have heavy rain, because that is going to come over and the water has to go somewhere. You don't want it to back up in your house. If you need to get sandbags, if you're in low areas, most likely there's sandbags, free giveaways, free sandbags. You have to pack it yourself though. They'll give you the bag and the sand. Bring your shovel and put the dirt in the bag, tie it up. It has a ties. And bring it to your house and put it wherever you need it. When you put your sandbags down, make sure you have like a tarp before you lay it down, because that adds an extra barrier, extra protection, So it has to go to the sandbags, then it has to go through the tarp to get into your house, okay? Let's see. Board up your windows. Make sure, don't wait till the hurricane hits to start boarding your window. Come on. I've seen people where the rain is pelting and they're trying to do it. If you know the hurricane is coming, put up the boards. It's cheaper. Okay, now my husband doesn't want to put holes in the stucco. And my thing is it cheaper to replace stucco or a window? And our windows are huge. Needless to say, I'm just praying nothing happens, because we don't have any protection around our windows. Yes, I know, but I promised myself by next year, we're going to have some shutters on our windows to where we just pop them up, take them down. All right. They're expensive, but I think it's a very smart investment. All right. Let's see. Okay. Fill your water tub with water, because this way you can flush the toilet. You could take a bath. Now in the tub, take out the water and go to the next bathroom. If you only have one bathroom, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have a tub, use buckets. You could buy the 5-gallon buckets from the store. I'm going to clip it at the end. Buy the 5-gallon buckets and make sure it says food grade. Now you can use the food grade ones for food. They're only like not even $5, and make sure you have to purchase the lid separate, right? The lids are like $1.98. You can buy the food grade one. This way you could use for in your kitchen. If you run out of drinking water, bottled water, you could use that. Any coolers, fill up your coolers. Make sure you have, if you have the long ones where you could store stuff in, if you lose power and you don't have a generator, you could put some of your cold items in the cooler and it will last for a couple of days with ice. All right. You could freeze some of your water bottles because later you could use them as ice pack, or you could just have ice water, right? Let's see. Okay, this is what I do. I cook at least 3 or 4 days of food and put it in the fridge just so I have cooked meals and I don't have to, if I'm out of power, I can eat some of the stuff cold. I don't really like cold cuts, but I'll eat cold chicken. I'm good with that. If you like cold cuts, you can buy a lot of cold cuts and make sandwiches. To each his own. I don't like tuna, so my husband and son eats tuna. They'll eat that. I'm not going to eat tuna, so I make sure to cook something. I eat some cold rice. It's not going to kill me. Let's see. Make sure you service your generators. As I said, if it worked last year, make sure it works again this year. Don't just assume it's going to work, and when you need it, guess what? It doesn't even turn on, okay? Now, check for dead trees around your yard. Throughout the year, you should already be doing this, but just check to make sure nothing is hanging near any electrical wires, hanging near your house, any branches near your house, because when hurricane and storm, things fly. So make sure if you see a branch hanging, make sure your spouse or whoever gets somebody to chop it down. Don't wait till a hurricane to do it. This is something you do during the spring, okay? Spring cleaning. Get rid of all that stuff, okay? Let's see. Make sure you secure all your outdoor animals. We have chickens and we have ducks. So make sure wherever their cages are is anchored down properly to where it's not going to blow. Even if you have to put some sandbags on top of the cage to kind of add more weight to it, or hook it up to bolt it down with cement or something, just make sure your animals are secure. Make sure they have somewhere they could go in for safety. And make sure it's up off the ground so they could, don't have to be sick. The ducks don't mind the water, but the chickens, they're going to need some kind of shelter, because with the wind and the rain, they're going to need some kind of shelter. Okay. So make sure you have that for your outdoor animals. Let's see. Make sure you charge everything. Charge your phone, charge your portable chargers, your fan, charge everything to the max. Okay. And then secure your electronics item. Like I have my work computer here at home. I work from home. So what I did was I have my computer and my monitors, they're covered with plastic. Just in case, say, God forbid, my roof starts to leak or rain comes in, they're secure. I don't want to have to pay for my work computer. I'm doing that also with my own computer and my own laptop and my iPad. I have a plastic bag that I'm going to, drop them in once I'm not using them. Yeah. Let's see what else. Make sure your items, you should already have this done. Make sure your electronics are plugged into a surge protector, because it does help. It does help. So like my computers are in a surge. My work computer is in a surge. My TVs are in a surge. In everybody's room, it's in a surge. My fridge is not in a surge. It's just in the regular whatever. But all my TVs are in a surge. Now, I do have a radio system that's not in a surge. Everything doesn't have to go in a surge. If you have the surge, you go right ahead and put it in there. But that is going to help with your electronic items. Let's see. All right. Then as far as parking your cars, do not, yes, it's safe, but do not park all your cars in the garage. Let me say it again. Do not park all your vehicles in the garage. Leave at least one out. Number one, you may lose power. Yes, you could push your garage door up, But what if a tree falls and, like where I live, I have a big tree. If a tree falls and blocks my garage, I can't get out. Yes, it may get hit out there, but I'll take my chance. I'll leave the 2 on the inside. I'll leave 1 in the garage, and I'll have another one in my detached garage. So, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So I'm not doing that with my car, okay? But to each his own. Let's see. Walkie-talkies are also good to have. We don't have, but I know some people do. Walkie-talkies are good to have, especially if you're going to a shelter. Now, I don't know if it's allowed at the shelter. I'm not sure. Let's see. Also, do not forget to communicate with your job. If you're evacuating, leaving the area, let your office know, let your supervisor know that, okay, guess what? Don't feel safe. I'm leaving my area. I will let you know I'm heading to Georgia. You don't have to tell them exactly where you're going. I'm not sure, however your job works, but I'm not saying you have to tell them, give them the address, but let them know, okay, I'm going out of town. I'm going to Georgia. I'm leaving at 4 p.m. I should get there at 10, whatever time it is. Okay, just let somebody know, just kind of communicate. And you could give them, say, okay, here's a point of contact where I'm going to be. And give them somebody's number, family member's number. So this way, if they call to check on you, they know exactly where you are. Okay. All right. If you are evacuating, do not wait till the storm is here, or do not wait for everybody to get on the road to leave. If you're planning on leaving and you have the means to go, by all means, leave early so you're not stuck on the highway. All right, let's see. All right, guys, that is it. Stay safe. Hopefully this video is helpful. Maybe not this year if you're not having a hurricane going on in your area. Next year, refer to this. Again, I will list the sites in the description box where you can find more information. And trust me, Google should be your best friend. Google has everything. YouTube has everything on there. If you want to know what storm is coming, it's on YouTube. All the TV station, the weather station, they have a YouTube channel, so you can access that. You don't need to have cable to get all that information. Again, guys, I pray for everyone's safety that's in the way of this hurricane, that nothing major happen, and just God to keep everyone safe. Keep me and my family safe, my friends and my co-workers safe, because we are actually in the eye of the path of the hurricane, I should say. We're not directly in the eye of it, but we're in the path. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very educational for you. And thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe the video. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers by sharing this video. And I'm trying to be more diligent in my posting, but you know, life just gets in the way. Again, thank you for all your support, and God bless. Bye.